are in Ternopil. We've made our, well, what is this, Sean? 5 days? 5-day journey. And we've arrived here in our destination. And as you can see, we're unloading. We have our Ukrainian family here as well. We're all together now unloading. And then it'll all be sorted. And then later on today, we will distribute it to different places. Sean is the cameraman. You've got Tony, Steve, Victor and Jai and Dima, myself, Yaroslav. I'm not quite sure of the other lad, what his name is in the background, but everybody's pulling together.
Vasil?
Vasil.
Is it? Dima.
Dima.
Who's the other guy? Vasil?
Bogdan.
Bogdan! How do you forget Bogdan?
Yeah,
No.
so as you can see, it was all worth it because we've got all the trucks we've got 5 trucks here. We're going to be picking up the rest, so nothing's going to be wasted. And then there's a lot of aid here. There's aid in most of the cars. We're trying to unload all of them. And then we have a van full of presents, Sean, for...
We had half a van of medical and half a van of orphanage presents for Zola Chief.
Zola Chief, which is near Kiev.
It's like halfway.
Halfway between Lviv.
We drove through it, actually, I think, some of it. We drove through some of it, well, the Oblast.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work to do today because we have other jobs to do as well. But the main thing is to get all this aid off so that we can sort it out, and then we'll know which hospital, which orphanage, which area it's going to. So I'm going to say bye for now.
We're going to rename Three Breakfast Die. That's his new nickname. This is Victor, star volunteer of Ternopil.
Victor.
Say hello to the camera. Welsh, Привет.
So,
What is it tuning?
oh, this is new feature. This is like you can, you know, these new phones you can fold.
Yes.
This one is not. This doesn't have a folding screen.
Drop some.
No, in the van. There's a.
Use your hammer.
No, you didn't use a hammer. There's on a Ford Transit. It has a special feature. There's a in the pocket on the door. There's a phone holder.
Phone holder.
That will chop iPhones in half. It's only for half iPhone. So yeah, very good feature in the Ford Transit for doing that. But unfortunately, since Dover, my navigation, my GPS, my phone, all the messages, they've had to all be relayed through the rest of the team. Yeah. What's that, Day? About the customs? You on about the customs for the cat food?
How this time you cross customs?
Good, yeah,
Okay.
Dover. Yeah,
Dobre. No check.
we had lots of help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good crossing. 2 hours for Poland and Ukraine. 7 declarations. The longest problem was I sent you the wrong registration for the trailer. You know?
For me, it's no problem. You know, I use.
You're very good. Dima,
Photoshop.
Dima,
So many devices.
Beep. We'll just beep that out. And basically, Dima is our chief customs paperwork advisor, and he does literally 24 hours a day. We are communicating and trying to get the customs sorted. And as you can see, and I think we've been talking about perhaps the perception of the volunteers who go on these runs and drive these vehicles and this aid, that perhaps it's a bit of a holiday. And unfortunately, my rating at the moment apparently is 1 star for my tours.
Yes.
Yeah, and why is that, Tony?
One star. If you want to lose weight rapidly and go on a crash diet,
Or crash.
yeah, or crash,
Yeah, come with us. So it's long hours, would you say?
It's longer than long hours.
And it's like dirty, cold, hard work, yeah?
Dirty, cold, hard work, and he doesn't feed us.
But we have breakfast every 32 plus hours.
Yes.
So we're pushing for a 32-hour day, which will just about give us enough time to do what we need to do. I say we've got the ambulance to unload. We've got the other pickup trucks, and this is now aid coming out from Penpaci in Aberystwyth in deepest, darkest West Wales, and it actually takes longer to get from Aberystwyth to Cardiff than it does to get to Ukraine. You got Bogdan. We got Steve in the truck unloading. And I'm renegated to narrator and cameraman because I'm absolutely useless at shifting boxes.
Or making plans.
And this is why I need so many helpers, you know, and this is why it's fantastic to have the support and the admiration of so many volunteers.
Left side. Yeah, let me show you. Okay.
So what they're doing, they're just quickly sorting what comes out, because we've had stuff from different locations, different groups. So it's nice to have the support and admiration of the volunteers, Tony.
Yes.
And you know, we wouldn't be able to do it without them. As you see, all these boxes, they don't get loaded on their own. These vehicles don't get to A to B on their own. You know, we have problems. We have some interference sometimes, and we have some issues with the police, perhaps at Dover on occasion, which is another thing you might know, or you know, we're going to go into that in further detail.
You lovely German police officers. You see
Very good.
somebody?
No, West Germany was very good, but East Germany, they left us alone. You know, so
You're lucky this time.
yeah, we didn't have any problems this time on the way back, and it's we're waiting to see the outcome of a fine, where they issued a fine for us overtaking on a 3-lane part of the autobahn where we were on a hill, and I mistakenly thought that the first lane was a crawler lane for the HGVs, and we overtook with the trailer. We had a €95 fine on the last trip, and we also had a wheel come off the trailer, which I think hopefully we're going to get that repaired here. I'm going to ask our Ukrainian partners if we can try and get someone to look at that, because I haven't had time to do the full repairs yet to that wheel. Plus it's hard work. And let's say, Steve, what are your thoughts of 52?
Horrendous.
Would you say it's getting easier or harder to do what we're doing?
It's easier in some ways because of the familiarities, but when you're moving as many vehicles as we had in a convoy, the problems just increase
Tenfold, yeah.
with it. So it's very difficult to keep to a plan, right, especially a first one. But
I don't think any plan survives contact, though.
not the first one, but preparation planning prevents piss poor performance.
That's right. 6 P's of management. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, in all
But
honesty,
Steve is trained military and he's been able to use that training of hurry up and wait from the British military, because we've been doing a lot of that, and a lot of our volunteers are now perhaps even say would be trained for that level. Do you think, Steve, of hurry up and wait?
yes, yeah, absolutely. You know,
And this is dog food, and you know, people might think, well, why are we carrying dog food? But there's a lot of animals that get abandoned in the zero position, and the armed forces of Ukraine, they do like to look after those animals, so we have to bring it in.
Perhaps the term volunteer should be changed to Presca.
Ooh, we'll have a vote on that. I think we're a democratic organisation, we'll have a vote. So this is all still Pempakai. We had a generator come off as well just now. Lots of medical aid, lots of humanitarian aid. We've still got vehicles that have got a lot in them, and we've got the van, got a full van load of hospital aid, medical aid, half a van I should say, and half a van of presents for an orphanage in Zolochiv from the Ukrainian Association, Great Britain. I want to say a big thank you to them in Winnesh Volunteer Warehouse, Stefan and St. Nicholas. Thank you for loading us up. Yeah.
I know I said in response to your question, being horrendous, if you think you're coming on a holiday, forget it.
Yeah.
This is a task. This one you've got to apply yourself to, you'll be adaptable, but it is not something of just let's go and spend a few days in Ukraine.
Yeah, I think this is what we were talking with Tony. We were saying it's long hours, it's dirty, it's cold.
19-hour days driving on the roads.
Test the metal of man and machine.
It does. So, we need more people to support us on these runs, but you've got the right motivation and metal, shall we say, to be able to do it.
Yeah. And 36-hour breakfast cycle. One meal a day.
Talk about breakfast. What is breakfast?
Yeah. I would like to say a big thank you to the Ukrainian volunteers from London, Igor, Vasil, Pietra, and Sergei, who accompanied us to Poland and flew back to work a day late. So they come all the way from London to Wales to help us drive, and loaded in Wales, met the other Welsh volunteers, and then helped us many times through the trip from the UK. Huge thanks to Irish Ferries for their support, their continued support. A huge amount of medical aid has been moved, ambulances and 4x4 evacuation vehicles, thanks to their continued support. I say we are just about keeping the wheels turning. It's a huge amount of support that they give us financially by providing us that transit across the Dover Strait, and it would be, I don't think we would be able to do half as much without their support, because of, well, not even that, probably 75% of what we do we wouldn't be able to do with that added cost. So those guys, if you ever travel Irish Ferries, there's the company to go with. And it's great that the groups in Ukraine coordinate. It's great that the groups in Wales and in the UK coordinate. So to say a big thank you to the Cross-Party Senate for Ukraine group for linking us with the Ukrainian organisation of Great Britain, and organising that aid to go out as well. And I want to say a big thank you for all of what they're doing, moving vehicles as well. They've just come back from a trip and got several vehicles out to Ukraine. We did a live stream with many of them from the Senate. It was feels like so long ago, but that was perhaps only even last week. And we'll get this closed back up and covered up, and I'll hand you over perhaps to Di.
No, sorry.
No, you're not being cameraman, Jenny. You don't want to have a run through what you got.
Is all of this now to go in there as well?
Just do that when I speak to Dima a second. No, I just need to speak to Dima.
Okay. Okay, as you can see, we have a lot of incontinence items for hospitals, the hospice, very much needed now when there are operations, especially if people are paralysed for a time or for permanently. In here now, we've been stacking things in different places. So as you can see, we have an exercise bike that will go to Petrosk, not Petrosk, Pitvollechesk Rehabilitation Centre, and they will be using that in their new therapy room. We have the used vapes that will go to help make more power packs. And as you can see, there's a large amount this time. People back home have been amazing to donate these. I know they're used ones, but they've taken the time to collect them. And now we have quite a few boxes. I would say we must have about 3,000 plus vapes. We've got a nice stack of animal feed, dog and cat food. Important now, especially now with the cold weather coming up as well. It's very important that we help the animals as well, because it's not their fault they find themselves in this predicament. Over here, we have a box of rugby kits donated by Aberystwyth Rugby Club. They are training kits. They are second-hand, but they're all in very good condition. When we were out here, myself and Sean, about 5 weeks ago, we were talking with some young people, and they say that rugby is very much a big sport here in Ukraine, rugby league and rugby union, and I'm sure these kits will come very useful for them. It's good that we have this connection, and I'm hoping when all this conflict and there's some kind of normality here in Ukraine, that we can invite the rugby teams over to Wales to play Aberystwyth Rugby Club. And then we have Steve and Tony here with us, who are associated with rugby clubs down in South. And I'm hoping that Steve, we're doing a live stream. I was talking about the rugby box of kit here, second-hand kit that Aberystwyth Rugby Club have donated. And I was just saying that you and Tony have the same down in your area. Can you just tell us who they are?
Tony is a member of the Carmarthen Rugby Club, 1.5 miles up the Avon Valley from Port Talbot. He approached the kit man. Most rugby clubs change their kit every year because of sponsors, new sponsors. He now is pulling together a number of the kits that they don't use. Some of them are used as training kits, appreciate that, but they'll be coming out on the next run to encourage more of this sport in Ukraine. It may be a surprise to a lot of people, but Ukrainians do play rugby.
Yes, they do, and they have a league, I was told, as I was saying to the viewers.
So that's how Carmarthen will be looking to support the rugby, the growth of rugby within the Chernobyl area.
And what I've just said as well, we hope and we pray that when Ukraine is victorious and there's some normality back here in Ukraine, that we can invite teams over and they can come and play Aberystwyth, and they can come and play to Carmarthen, and hopefully people who are members of these rugby clubs will host a couple of them, and I'm sure they will have a lovely time.
Yes.
So that's Steve. He's been one of our other volunteers driving. We have a lot of boxes that will be sent out to places like the orphanages and the art therapy centre in Kharkiv, and the church group that Sean and I were met with Yaroslav a couple of, I think it may be last year now. Time goes by so quickly. And over here then, we've just unloaded all the medical items from the trailer. We have a few equipment, rehabilitation equipment here. We have bags of glasses here. These bags were donated by Jeanette and Mike Pratt from Birmingham. She went around all the opticians there, and I think in that box there's about 349 pairs of glasses. And these are all very, very welcomed items here as well. And over in the corner, we have a generator. that was donated, and I apologise if I can't remember your name. I think it was Mike and his wife who donated the generator. So if anybody else finds any generators there in their garages and they don't want them, then please let us know and we'll come and pick them up. We've got a large amount of medical bags here that were donated from groups in Aberystwyth, and they are full of medical items now, and they will go out to the response vehicles. So yeah, it's just an amazing pull together of everybody, and people are still out here now unhitching vehicles and doing as much as they can to get all the kit and the aid off the vehicles. And we have some more rehabilitation Zimmer frames here, and I think I will pass you back to Sean, as he's a better narrator than myself. Sean has been helping undo all the vehicles.
Well,
Have I been doing it the wrong way?
no, it's fine. It's good.
I've just told them about the rugby
Second.
kit and how we would like to one day, when all this is over, invite teams over so that they play Aberystwyth and they'll come down to the valleys as well and play. I've told them about the medical bags we've got, which are full of kit, all the food for the animals. I haven't told them about what you've got on your back of your truck yet.
Okay.
But I've asked them if they have generators hiding somewhere. Please don't throw them. We will take them. Yes. So
We'll film the unloading of the next one and perhaps the ambulance. We're just talking about some repairs to the trailer because it looks like we've seen the bearings gone on that one wheel on the trailer. You know, the damaged one. Oh, I can take my life into my hands now and
Oh, it's okay.
stop. Yeah, bearing has gone on that wheel. This is the one that was interfered with in Belgium on 51. You open top first, up, and then ho ho ho.
It's our Christmas presents.
Okay.
Are they all coming out?
Yes, yeah.
Nowa poczta to nowa poczta.
We got sleeping bags. These are Christmas gifts for who, Jenny?
these have come from people in Aberystwyth, from children, and I'm proud to say that there's some there from my grandchildren, from my great nephew, great niece, and they were going to be distributed to orphanages here in Tynopel. We have already, as you know, the stuff in the van, which is full of presents for another orphanage further out of here. And you can see the van is full of presents.
I tell you what, the kids, the thought that goes into what's in those boxes, the kids, they love them. Absolutely love them.
No, I want another one. It's like, come on, pick the stuff and we go.
They're looking after Jenny. They're only giving her one box rather than loading them up. So we're moving parcels into different locations to be allocated to different hospitals, to different orphanages, to different hospices, and different organizations, different charities, different volunteer groups in Ukraine.
We've even got a Christmas present, bless,
For
a cat. And it's full of cat food and bits and bobs for.
Yeah, well, the dogs should get presents, not cats.
I think there is a dog one.
Cats don't care. Dogs need presents. Dogs care. They're loyal to a fault. Dogs are. Cats don't. Cats will eat you, given the chance.
Cats could text, they wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. It was our resident comic.
They're all there when I arrived.
I'm calling Tony our resident comic.
No, you should be calling him, what's this, Tony Bennett?
Tony Bennett?
Yeah, because he looks like Tony Bennett.
All right. Is he a comic? Singer. Do you sing?
No.
Give us any.
No.
You don't sing, and you're from Carmarthen. You're not in a choir. The Carmarthen Choir, they actually donated funds to the Scouts in Ukraine previously, which we've done on Run 50 and whatever.
I had to sing for my separate staff.
Run 40 something. I think we need a patch for each run.
It was the Pelena Choir, which is in the next.
Sounds like a pasta.
Pelena. The name of the river that runs through
one
of the valleys.
Be nice if they could give us a recording of the Welsh and the Ukrainian national anthems. Be nice video. Be fantastic. We could use that on the videos.
The other side, yeah.
And so, without the cooperation of Wheels of Victory and the volunteer networks in Ukraine, we wouldn't be able to be as effective as what we are. They do so much paperwork for us. They do so much coordination and distribution of the humanitarian aid. And literally, as I mentioned in that, the all-star of Wheels of Victory is going to give us his words of wisdom. And I'm saying that without your help and your cooperation, we would not be effective at all at distributing this aid and maximizing every opportunity to get help into Ukraine.
Thank you everybody for helping, donating and supporting. And now we are in Ukraine with a lot of medical and humanitarian help, and also vehicles, thanks to Sean and UK4UA and Jenny Jenkins, Phil and Parkao Hub, and also to Helen, and also Marina from Cardiff for Ukraine.
And it goes on, and they say Mick Anthony and the Senate for Ukraine group, the Association of Ukrainians in Great Britain, all the independent volunteers, because there's a lot of people just even in Wales that I've been collecting off who are just doing it on their own. They work in a hospital or they just work in an office, but they collect aid and then they contact us and we go and collect it and we try and make sure it gets distributed then to where it's going. So huge support still. Even nearly 3 years into the full-scale invasion, and how many years since the actual invasion? 11 years since this started.
This next year, at the beginning of next year, will be 11 years from beginning of war.
2014.
And, it was.
And not a lot of people realize that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people.
And thanks to you, we are still continuing, and this is its most important, just to understand that we are not alone, that everybody, for people who are interested to help, to support democracy, who are ready to be shoulder to shoulder with
civilized
people, and this is its most important. And together we are stronger. Together we can pass, we can fight, we can continue. And every morning, every sun rise, it's thanks to you that you are with us and you are helping, supporting us, donating, and big thanks to whole volunteers, drivers. Sean Hopkins here, it's 52nd time.
Wow.
Yeah.
It adds up. And I say it's Yaroslav is non-stop. Always organising, always communicating, and volunteering and going, and say even with Maidan, he was a volunteer medic at Maidan, and they have a Maidan volunteers group that help sort of organize a lot of and I say you went to Maidan because it was like the right thing to do. And say people say to me, why are you doing this? And I say, well, it's the right thing to do. It's the moral choice, and we have to, if we don't stand up for rules-based order and democracy, it will be taken away from us.
Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, it's
UK
but
holding that. Then.
yeah, it's if you understand in some moment that you cannot just to be outside of this, yeah, just um, to make a choice. Yeah, that you understand that you have to do like this. Yeah, you have to be a part of this, because if you will not do it, it will be not comfortable for me. Just I cannot, yeah, live with this. Yeah, just I'm for me it's more comfortable to do this that not doing this. Yeah, and I think that it's most people like this,
and again, I feel that I'm helping my fellow scouts, my fellow because again, you are all you help your children who are in plast in scouts. You help the local scout group. You're in business. You have employees. It's very much the same as if we were invaded tomorrow in Wales, we would be in the same situation. We would be the same people and have facing the same problems.
Yeah.
And we are helping our brothers and sisters in Ukraine, our fellow scout groups, our fellow business people, our fellow Europeans, basically, with a war in Europe again.
Yeah.
In our lifetime, which we were ever going to see a genocide in Europe, and unfortunately we failed. We failed in Yugoslavia to prevent that. We failed in Ukraine to prevent that, and we mustn't be afraid of these tyrants. They want us to be afraid. They want you to hide who you are. They want you to not show that you are Ukrainian, you are British, you are German, you are French, you are European. They want you to hide, and they want you to be afraid of them. And they are bullies.
Yeah, and it's a system of Russia's propaganda, and aim of this Russia's propaganda is just people has to be in fear, then had to afraid of.
Yeah.
In this condition, people cannot join together. They cannot to do something. They just trying to find some Putin who will protect them.
Yeah.
But it's very dangerous. Yeah.
And the Russians have lists of volunteers of different cities and different areas that they if they occupy that place, they have a list. And unfortunately, many of the volunteers we help are on these lists, and that is very scary.
Yeah,
And it's very dangerous, and you're putting yourself in danger by supporting Ukraine.
I am a free man, and I know that they are trying to scare us, and I'm just living and doing what I'm thinking is right actions.
For your family.
Yeah, just for me, for my family, for all people around, and I will continue. And thanks everybody for helping, supporting, just to passing through this, just to continuing.
Yeah, and we stand with
That's
Ukraine.
all.
This is why we stand with Ukraine. We stand with civilized people for rules-based order, for freedom, for democracy. Your arm. I know, and we've been. Yaroslav's just had surgery on his arm. You would have seen him in a cast, and his phone's ringing. And you can see a huge mountain of medical aid there now that's got to be sorted, and we haven't even unloaded all of the vehicles. And we'll leave Yaroslav to that call. And I think, is that all of the ones that we managed to get here? unloaded?
There's
Just
one
one
more.
vehicle coming up now. But as you know, your van is full already, so it's no point us taking them. Otherwise, there'll be no room again.
Well, we
for
know
garage.
it's not mixed.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's not mixed aid, so it doesn't have to be sorted, that one, which is good.
I was listening to your conversation, Sean, just now about us not learning. And I don't know if you mentioned where we were in Poland yesterday. And we were at that site of another genocide with the Polish Jews.
Well, they were just Poles, I think, some of them.
Yeah, Polish people.
Not even just Jews.
Yeah.
You know, they were just Poles.
They were normal, and one plaque will tell you the story of a young girl who was a secretary in the big White House, which is where all the German heads were. And this young girl, she had, they must be starving because the work was hard, but she managed to get a little job in there as a secretary. And the commandant went into the drawer. He found a piece of bread and some sausage. He was so infuriated. He asked his sergeant to pick 6 people from that room.
So she found the food.
No, the commandant found the food that she had in there because they were starving.
Okay, so she had food in the office.
She had food in the office that she was hiding, and he went in there, and he was, as I said, infuriated. So he told his commander to pick 6, any 6. It wasn't like for any reason, just 6 innocent people, including the girl. And he says, go up to the mound where, if you have a look at my Facebook, you'll see we did a little post on it and a video, and shot them all there. And that's why it's a monument to people that were terrorized, were brutalized, and we don't learn, do we, from what's happening? And
we must stand up to it. We must be not afraid to stand up for it, otherwise it will keep happening.
And it'll spread further and further. Ukraine today. Could it be Poland? Could it be us? You know, we can't be complacent, and we can't just.
Well, it will be if they could get away with it.
Exactly, and you know, we've got to stand up for evil, and that's why we all do this.
And Ukraine needs NATO membership.
Exactly.
You know, this is why people are in NATO. It's a defensive organization against assholes like Putin and Xi and that Kim Jong-un and those other undemocratic fuckwits. I'm sorry, I do feel very strong about these people and what they're trying to do. They keep banging on about changing the world order. They don't want it dominated by free and democratic countries, the Europeans and the Americans and all the rest of it, and they want their own way of doing things. And I tell you what, we're not going to stand for it. They can look out, because some of you might know the algorithm of FAFO. If you mess about, you find out. So F.
Maybe this application leave it inside.
Maybe we might need that. We might need that for Poland. We've lost the one you bought, so we're just unloading. We just unloaded that last one, and I need to speak to the team here now about some repairs. And I just want to leave you with one last look of everyone. And
Yeah.
And
We are ready.
Basically, we do stand with Ukraine. We stand with Ukrainians shoulder to shoulder, the British people, the Welsh people, you know, and we're British and we're Welsh. And all right, well, we won't get into that, because that type of nationalist, separatist, you know. Yeah, but they want to be part of Europe. They want to be Europeans, and we want to be together. Like, we do want to be back in Europe. We've always been European, and we're not going to get into Brexit and all that. And yeah, basically, we stand shoulder to shoulder. Most of us stand shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine, and we will win together. Yeah. Slava Ukraini.
Heroям slava.
And someone just needs to press the end stream button for me.
Yeah, I can do it.
Just end stream.
And